Thank you. I'm very happy to present to you Simon Schoop. He comes from Bonn, Germany, and he is one of the biggest experts in digitalization in Germany. Thank you, Simon.
Thanks, Silvia. Arno is 5 years old. He's my son, and he is a digital native. Who of you has got kids? Quite a lot, that's very good. And we'll come back to that topic in a moment. So, I'm working in Bonn, in Germany, as Silvia has stated, and I'm having a little consultancy called Fort Wise that is focusing on enabling people to leverage the opportunities that are within digital transformation by changing and innovating. I don't show you this prize or this award that we've won because I want to say, hey, we're the greatest. No, I do because the story, how we got this, is interesting, because that's about digital transformation. We had a blog 5 years ago, and 5 years ago, it was very weak, the resonance that we got. It was not leading to the success that we wanted with the blog, so we stopped it. Now, we restarted a blog on digital transformation once the topic was really ripe and the market was talking about it, and there were digital customer touchpoints. People were looking for digital transformation content online. And I believe, because everything else that we've done in the last 11 years, we haven't changed. That's the only thing that has changed last year, that was the reason why we actually got this award from Brand 1. So what I want to say, once the time is ripe, it is important to be there and to communicate, and the way that digitalization has impacted communication made it different for us to be able to succeed with such a blog. So I'm the little guy in the red shirt over there, an analog football player, I'd say, 1979, trying to catch balls. I will not tell you if I caught that one or not, but if you just look at that and look at my son, Arno, 5 years old, digital native, it's quite a difference. He plays in a Germany kit, he plays on the iPad, he was able to unblock the iPad of his daddy at 11 months, and sometimes I wonder what's more important for him. Is it the digital world or is it the analog world? And I believe that there's a good balance. He comes and sees a football in the game, so he says, "Daddy, I want you to buy me this football for my birthday." So I do, of course. He sees the Germany kit when Germany plays, hopefully not like yesterday, losing against Ireland. And he says, "Daddy, can I get that kit for Christmas?" So it's a mixture of both worlds, and it's not just with my son, obviously. It is also with a very famous German football club, not as famous as Barcelona, okay, I agree. It's the number 2 in Germany, Borussia Dortmund. What have they done? They see that their customers have digital touchpoints, that their fans, their supporters who come to the stadium do play FIFA 15. And so what they did, they hired a gamer to play the team of Borussia Dortmund in FIFA 15 competitions. They are addressing those digital customer touchpoints because they know it matters to their customers, and they want to be where their customers are. So I would say players have changed. We've seen that. But one thing that I reflected when I prepared for this little speech is that other things have changed as well. The term generation has clearly changed. It's not 25 years anymore. It's 10 years or less. Look at this wonderful screenshot to the left. This is Pine. This was my first email. I was 19 years old at university. I've never written an email before. Anyone here who's over 35 will probably have kind of similar experiences. And this was my first computer, a Commodore VC20. My dad worked for IBM. He was almost a nerd, so we were quite advanced, but when you see it, you know the difference. My son learns how to draw on the iPad first. He knows to manage a team, buy players, sell players, without reading, without being able to read. So it's digital first. It's digital that really leads the way he learns and leads the way that he is going to work in the future. Now, what impact does this change have on the required skills. For me, digital transformation really is the change in the behavior of people. Many people talk about technology and say, okay, it's the technology that actually leads the change or leads the digital transformation. I kind of agree in the fact that technology is a necessity to become digital, but I think the most important driving force is really individual behavior. So I have a blog called The Digital Transformation Insider, and I talked to the vice president of SAP for cloud. And he was talking all about these technological components that are important to drive a shift towards digital. And I agree they do. But I think that it's people who change the technology that matters more than technology changing people. So you might have heard of those segments: digital natives, digital immigrants. I consider myself to be a digital immigrant, so basically I adopt very early. I love to play with new technology. I was the first one to have a navigation device many, many years ago with tons of cables in my car. And there are other segments that are probably not as known. They're the voyeurs, the people who watch but don't act necessarily. They're the holdouts, the people who oppose against digitalization. They're the disengaged, like my mother or my father, who just say, okay, enough, email, that's it. And there are the digitally balanced, who are somewhere between the immigrants and the voyeurs. So this is a new way of thinking about your employees and about customers. In the past, many people just thought about employees and customers. But nowadays, I think it's very important to also think about the partners, because to stay competitive, it will be an imperative to do open innovation. And for open innovation, you need to have co-opetition with competitors. You have to have co-opetition with people from other industries. And therefore, this perspective and this digitalization-based perspective on people and their maturity for digital is key to me to add to the way that we look at our employees and at basically all the stakeholders we work with.